for you guys tonight, which will explain everything. When we come back,
I'm excited.
We'll let you guys know how we felt about these two films. And yeah.
Do it.
Listen here, dickwad. Will you hurry the fuck up and cash out? Hurry up. I got shit to do. Popcorn and Pints. I want to close this bullshit convenience store so we can review these fucking movies. So as soon as you cash the fuck out, I can shut the fuck up and start talking again. What is that, you ask? Talking about Clerks and Howard the fucking Duck with my guys. All right? So hurry the fuck up, cash the fuck out. Everybody else, welcome to Popcorn and Pints, episode 70 fucking 2. Clerks and Howard the fucking Duck. You're welcome.
Wow, I felt the energy there.
Hey man, it felt necessary. It felt necessary, and once I got behind this register, I was like, what the fuck else am I gonna say? And
it really developed the attitude of being behind that register.
I mean, I was never behind the register when I was working retail, but I did work retail, so I feel like it's kind of,
I've been behind the register, not willingly. That's for goddamn sure.
I didn't want to go back there. I didn't want to have to deal with people.
I would ignore all the calls for any register help until they physically called me out by name.
I would just
How do you work retail without working the register?
Truck unload. Truck
unload.
I don't want that.
If you're working on the floor and they make you carry a walkie, I just don't respond until they call me out by name.
Yep. Now, I would have a walkie once in a while, like if I was working on the floor after doing the unload, putting stuff away or some shit, or if I came in, if they needed help or whatever. But I'd have a walkie on, but I never had to do register. I wouldn't do that shit though. Fuck that.
It was not one of my favorite activities.
It's annoying at times, but honestly, it's kind of interesting. Different people, and you meet some good people, you meet some bad people, some shitty people.
Yeah. But how are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Feeling good, man. Feeling squirrely. It's a bummer that Pussy James isn't here.
Oh God.
Yeah, he does it to us.
I'm gonna have to carry the torch for
Clan.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't gonna say that.
It's not the plan you guys are thinking of.
I'm gonna have to be extra squirrely tonight.
It's the cheese.
He's the wild card. It appears he's not here.
It's the Cheese and Crackers Clan, guys. They listen to the Clan.
Cheese and Crackers.
CC Clan? I thought you meant the White Sheet Clan.
Nah, they're not allowed to be in that anymore because they hang out with us. They were
expelled.
Those pictures where we were at Chris's house leaked on the internet, even though it was me that was taking pictures and putting out my profile picture.
Yeah,
I got kicked out because of that. They're like, wait a minute, you guys aren't racist?
We were expelled.
Yep. They can't even talk about it. It's kind of like Fight Club. It's Clan Club.
Anybody drinking anything? I'm drinking. I've been chugging beer the last couple hours.
I got
some Wolf Hollow IPA.
Got a little relax Pinot Grigio, I think. Riesling.
I like the Riesling. He's classing it up down there. Worst Damn Gamer.
So this is a Stewart's Fountain Classic Orange and Creamsicle. It's fucking delicious.
Anything in it?
Nah, no vodka tonight. No alcohol. But
wow.
I'm smoking.
Okay.
Register, actually. Smoking behind the register. You can do it there.
Smoking behind the register.
And a little added bonus, a little quarter chicken with some cheese fries over here. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds glorious.
You know what I'm saying?
So
where are we starting tonight, fellas? I'm happy to talk about either one of these.
Get that coin flip action going.
This is our new technology we have.
No, not that.
Heads is what?
Howard the Duck.
Did you have one? Did you have a digital one, or am I doing this?
I do have a digital one. I have to find the one that I used last week.
I got mine ready.
Go ahead.
Whee!
Heads for Howard.
Heads. We're talking
Howie. So I prefer that. I have a lot more to say about Clerks.
Let's do quick reviews, and I got a funny. Well, let's do quick reviews without reasoning, and then I got a funny little story about Howard the Duck. Quick one that actually happened yesterday. So 9.
Wow.
Really?
Wow. I'm going. I was gonna go 7.
I'm right there with the other Chris. 7.
So if I'm not mistaken, I thought we were all on the fence of you pretty much gonna hate this movie last week when we talked about trailers and stuff like that.
You're right. You guys were. Hey. You guys were kind of iffy, but
Wait, you've never seen Howard the Duck?
No, not
I
to my
haven't seen
recollection.
either of these movies.
No, but I will say this because we're starting with Howard the Duck. Like, yo, first I was high as shit watching it. I was actually smoking while I was watching it,
That helps.
and I was watching it with Dreams, the creator, and he was complaining through the whole fucking movie, damn near. He's like, "Wow, yo, this is one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen in my life. How the fuck do you, what's going on?" I was like, "Yo, how do you not fucking enjoy this shit?" I was like, "Yo,
It's
this
so
is fucking amazing."
it's like it killed George Lucas's career at the time, practically financially and professionally. But somehow it has gone on to become this like cult classic thing. Like it's glorious in all the awful ways it can be, to the point where like you gotta watch this, and it's just so dumb. It's so much fun to watch because of it.
It works so fucking well for me though. It just I mean I wasn't laughing through the whole thing, of course, but when I laughed, I was fucking dying. I was just like, this is so fucking ridiculous. But it's hilarious.
I could tell once you started sending voice messages in our group chat. I'm like, oh, he's fucking enjoying this.
Yes. And I was being positive about it. And I was like, you know what? Let me stop before I give it away. But I couldn't help myself. Fucking because there was just some funny one-liners. And there was a couple I wish I would have remembered them. That I wanted to say in the group and I forgot. Like there was one where he's watching the commercial. It was something about duck balls or something something in the groin area they had some spray for. I forgot.
Oh, hold on. I think I wrote that down. I thought I wrote that down.
And I was
Feather fungus.
Feather fungus, yes.
I wrote down something. That he's looking at a copy of Play Duck instead of Playboy. Just where everything's a duck version at the very beginning.
It was, oh my gosh, it was so fucking great. It was so great. And I'm just like, why the fuck did I never see this?
What's crazy about this movie? I know I watched it. I don't know how many times I watched it when I was young and it came out. It came out in '86. So I was 3 years old, so clearly I didn't watch it then, but I know I watched it as a kid at some point. I watched this recently during some point when all shit was closed down for like quarantines and stuff. So maybe last year or in the last year and a half. So I've watched this twice in like the last 3 years, and it's fantastic watching it now.
It hits. It was more of the nostalgia factor for me because I remember seeing this as a kid. Probably, I want to say I was like somewhere in the range of like 5 to 8. I'm sure I didn't understand most of it back then because it was just a duck on TV that looked funny and everybody was laughing. But at the same time,
they had the lawyer on set to make sure at no point did he ever look like Donald Duck.
Smart.
There were constant adjustments to like there were up until they started filming adjustments to his beak and stuff like that.
That's hilarious.
But
he's my favorite Marvel character.
I'm trying to find like this is not really close to like what the comics portrayed him as or any of his actual stories. From what I was reading, and I can't remember what I found on that.
Can't remember.
But she sucked that duck dick. James, he's
starting
free enough to watch and chime in, but not beyond.
Yeah, James. I know what it is. It's because he's with his wife's family. He doesn't want them to look at him some kind of way because of his crazy comments. So that's exactly
But
what.
like,
Hey,
Leah
James, hang on. James, text mom and tell her to come watch her children that show up for work all the time, please.
yes. Also, James, send in your score here
For Howard the Duck, quackity quack.
for Howard the Duck, the master of quack foo.
Yeah, he is. And by the way, I gave it a 9, and the Chris brothers gave it a 7 each.
Dude, Leah Thompson had no problem accepting that he was a duck, he could talk, and he was from another planet almost immediately. To the point where she was horny for his feathers almost.
Hey, man, it happens.
Yep.
Like, what about like when she pulled the condom out of his wallet? And it wasn't even fucking wrapped. It was legit open. Like, it would have been dried out, unusable at that point.
Mm-hmm. She just laughed at it. But
She's
it was
like,
fun.
"Oh, Howard.
Oh, Howie. Well, shit, Howard.
Hey, Ducky." She calls him Ducky the whole time.
Yep.
I enjoyed the scene with Howard at the unemployment office where he's dressed ridiculously and he's talking. The woman's like, "It doesn't matter how you dress. I can find you a job," or something like that. And he's about to bite her ass, and she turns around and he.
I was dying. I was dying. Just shit like that was just so fucking funny and weird. It was such a weird comedy.
It is just it's so fucked up for its time. I think 1986, mid 80s.
I feel like it's perfect for its time. It'd be more fucked up now.
It's perfect in a way and it's fucked up in a way. Like these weird comedy sci-fi movies were out there at the time, but I felt like this took it to an extreme.
But we figured it out already. Why? Remember, they were coming up the 70s and 80s. You had the mushrooms and the LSD to the cocaine. Like that's gonna create some wild shit. That's gonna create some. It could have been one of those things where you write the story high, you do everything high, and then the only thing you do sober is like recording the actual movie. So then you're just like, what the fuck were we on? We might as well put it out because we spent all this money to get this shit together, so we got to do it. And that's what happened.
So this was when I was looking up trivia and stuff for this. This was legit when they were writing this movie. It was meant to be an animated movie.
Yep.
So
there's some more. I have a what is it, a theory? I actually remember it. I was high as shit when I came up with this, so forgive me. So Howard the Duck is a minority, right?
Okay.
White people are more comfortable. People in general are more comfortable with a white woman dating a white duck than she was dating a minority. Listen, so the duck hunting.
So white people are more comfortable with bestiality. Is that what you just said?
Racist ones are, yeah. And then
just making sure we're clear on that.
Oh yeah. Listen. I gave this some This was a very well thought out process high while I was watching this yesterday as shit was going on. So then I'm getting to watch. Okay. Is he black? I'm like, no, he's not black. And then I figured this out. The duck hunters. You know what they really were? Border Patrol. Remember they're all across that water? So Howard the Duck is really Mexican. He was coming to get a better life and all this other good stuff. He found a woman because he's from outer space, alien. Come on, you guys didn't put all this shit together? So that's a story.
No.
What if they made a sequel to this and there was a black duck, a duck with black feathers?
It would be his girl.
That would be awesome.
That would be hilarious.
Interracial duck relations.
Well, no, because Howard would be with the one chick. So which means his homie would have to be somebody completely different. But I'm just next time you guys watch that movie, if you haven't watched it, watch it in those. Maybe you got to be high when you think about this stuff. But watch it.
No, I can see those parallels.
Yeah, it makes plenty of sense. I'm just saying, aliens, illegal aliens, whatever you want to call them, extraterrestrials, outer space, duck hunters, border patrol.
Yeah, I feel it's a reach. I feel it's
it's a reach.
Not a reach at all. Not a reach at all. And he ends up staying in America. Boom.
So when they developed this movie, it was meant to be animated, but it was a contractual.
Hang on, didn't he say something about getting his green card at the end because he saved some shit?
Because he was an alien.
Boom. I don't want to hear any more. Extraterrestrial. extraterrestrial my ass. We know what that really meant. I caught on to you guys, Howard the Duck, and I like it. I really, really, really fucking like it. I like what you guys did there. That's some sneaky, intelligent shit. You were waiting for someone like me to figure it out, and I did.
There you go. You know, it only took what 30 years.
I mean, I've never seen it though. I would have figured this shit out 30 years ago had I seen it when I was 6. But you know,
But so they wrote this as an animated film, but they ended up making live action literally because of the contractual obligation George Lucas had to produce a live action movie.
I'll tell you this: this makes a better live action than it would have made an animated movie to me, because it makes it more ridiculous. It makes it funnier.
It does, but if this was made as an animated movie, it wouldn't have killed George Lucas financially at the time.
Maybe, maybe not, but he's fine now, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
See?
Honestly, it probably would have been better as like a hybrid, like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type deal.
That would be interesting.
But then they may say that's biting Roger Rabbit, and then they might not like it as much. I think it's great the way it is, honestly.
It is. I love, this is awesome to watch now as like an adult that grew up in the 80s to appreciate it for what it is, just absolute ridiculousness. But Leah Thompson was cast, of course, because of her role in Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy is this movie is considered such a disastrous flop, but it literally broke even at the box office.
Yeah.
So they didn't really lose anything on it. They didn't make any money. But
that sucks, but that does suck, but it's better, I guess, than going in the red.
Yeah, but what it was is George Lucas just built, when this movie came out, George Lucas had just built his $50 million Skywalker Ranch complex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he was counting on this film to get him like back in the black on that.
You should have probably waited.
So when it bombed and it didn't, he started selling off assets and shit. The craziest thing he's friends with Steve Jobs, and who offered to help buy part of Lucasfilm's newly launched CGI animation department, which became Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. That's awesome.
So there's a lot of history tied to this single movie, and it's insane.
Well, I guess
it changed the course of like animation history, cinema.
So I guess in hindsight, this movie was a great. I mean, at the very least, if you don't want to say it was a great movie, because I can understand that. Because of this movie, a lot of great shit happened after the fact.
I mean, we might not have Toy Story without it, or anything like literally Pixar crap in a bag and put it on the screen and somehow make them millions of dollars. At this point, you would think.
Yeah.
Put fucking googly eyes on that bag, and somehow they have an adorable fucking character.
Yep. Just needs it has to be either really funny or really cute, and then boom, you got it. And with like, I'll say like, to the innocence kind of sort of for children to kind of laugh at, that silly, stupid humor, silly child humor, but then also the more adult shit for you to like bring your, you know what I mean, for you to watch it and kind of enjoy it when you're watching with your kids or nieces and nephews and all that shit. Like Toy Story.
What about when Howard gets the job at the whorehouse there, just handing out towels and lube?
That's hilarious. That, oh my gosh.
This movie and Clerks go together so well.
So fucking good. All this sexualness. That's how they connect. We finally did, guys.
That's how these movies connect.
The sexual innuendos, all the just weird, just crazy shit. Because there's some hilarious shit that they talk about.
I really enjoyed the scene where Howard gets in the fight with the band's manager at the bar. And then he starts talking about space rabies at the end there. He's like, what now?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is
Yep.
the whole fight at the diner. I thought was good. After the scientist there becomes possessed with the evil overlord.
Oh my goodness, that was fucking hilarious. And that guy's always evil, and so he's always playing some sort of bad guy or like good guy but an asshole type of role. The guy who played the evil character in this one. I can't picture. I don't remember what I seen him in, but I see him in a lot of films and like a lot of family movies too. I feel like I see him in like a lot of family comedy movies, and he's kind of like that villain character.
Kind of wish this was a series.
See, me too. Howard the Duck, a series.
They need to do a Howard the Duck series. I mean, if we could get away with things like Deadpool and somebody else and shit like that,
That's
like,
what everybody's waiting for now, especially since they reintroduced him in the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
But George Lucas spent $2 million on Howard the Duck suit in the movie. 8 different actors ended up working in that suit.
Wow. I'm gonna say that one more time.
Yeah.
Wow.
$2
million.
Here's a fun fact. So following test screenings, two Universal executives were allegedly arguing about who was to blame for greenlighting this film, and it then ended in a fist fight.
That's awesome. It's only right. Best for this type of film. It's only right.
Tori Amos auditioned for the part of Beverly. So did Paula Abdul, Kim Basinger, Jodie Benson, Sarah Jessica Parker were all considered for the role.
Sarah Jessica Parker, which, really quick, because he named Miss Sarah Jessica Parker, people we talked about it behind the scenes, so we don't have any date set yet, but we're going to be going live to review Sex and the City Part 2, numero dos. And it's going to be one episode of that. And right now we're just trying to figure out times and dates. Well, the live review will be at 9 o'clock, of course, on a Saturday. But because we're discussing doing a watch party of the film previously and then reviewing it right after, we would do it in Discord on the Z Network. Mics would be muted, but feel free to type in chat and all that shit. But we're not going to give any reviews or anything until we review it live at 9 o'clock for you guys. But as soon as we know dates and all that shit, we'll let you guys know. And you guys can be a part of that.
That is going to be great because we're going to be hammered.
I'm going
to knock off Cosmos.
Yes, Cosmos.
And really girling it up.
Fancy, bringing the...
James has his hat.
Bringing the scarf back. Try to find some girly sunglasses. Maybe by then I'll have some that are shaped like hearts.
There you go.
Do it all for you guys.
What's one of the craziest things I find about this movie, and I see it every time I look up like trivia or hear something about this movie. Well, one other note: John Cusack and Martin Short auditioned to be the voice of Howard.
Interesting.
Which could have worked out, but so I've come across this a few times. Robin Williams was originally cast for the voice of Howard the Duck.
I can see that.
Holy shit!
I can absolutely see that.
Like he recorded dialogue and stuff like that. For Howard the Duck.
That would have made this movie a 10.
Well, so he quit after a week because he was so frustrated trying to sync up his dialogue with the duck's beak movements.
Oh shit!
Like that's how bad it got for him.
Holy shit.
So an actor to voice Howard had not been cast during filming, so all of Howard's lines were read on set by the puppeteers. So his beak movements were already captured on film.
Wow.
So they're adding in the dialogue after.
Wow.
And Robin Williams was an improviser. So he couldn't just kind of go with the flow. He had to say something that matched those movements, and that's what he was having trouble with.
That kind of sucks, though. I mean, I get it, but that kind of sucks. They couldn't do it the other way around.
I feel like that would have made the movie even better. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that would have made the movie a 10 for me. Just because his physical comedy when you see him in the movies was hilarious, and then like his audio comedy, I guess his voiceover comedy was hilarious because like the character would be like a cartoon version of him, like still have the same kind of body movements and laugh. You know what I mean? And that would have been awesome.
Robin Williams has an HBO stand-up special he did years and years ago, which I don't think you ever saw. If I could find the link, I got to send it to you because it was one of the funniest fucking stand-ups I've ever watched.
I need to
And
check it out. I've yet to
you
see
would
it.
enjoy it as shit. Maybe it's on their app. I haven't even looked.
I'll
have to check it either later tonight or tomorrow.
That's good thinking.
But
he was definitely a nut.
I was dying watching that nonstop for 90 minutes or however long it was.
Bring this
Did you just say something to us, Sturdy?
Nah, I didn't say nothing.
My phone or my Facebook just went ba-ding, ba-ding.
No, I didn't do
Yeah,
that.
man. But I think I recommend Howard the Duck to anybody. Honestly,
Fuck it.
doesn't take cinema seriously for one thing.
If you smoke weed, watch Howard the Duck, especially high. Watch it smoke before, during. You're gonna love it. I did.
It's just a fun fucking watch. It's
It
ridiculous. You can't take anything serious if you just want to fucking laugh.
Chicken and grits wheel.
That's a bummer.
Tell us how you really feel.
Wow.
I wouldn't mind doing something off the wheel of hate.
I bet James is regretting he's not missing next week.
Could be something super serious again.
Cool Runnings.
Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
See what the first one is.
This wheel's kind of whittling down too, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you think Howard the Duck uses his feathers to tickle her asshole? He definitely does.
100%.
He probably beaks her. He pecks her.
I mean, what part of her does he not tickle? Black Panther? Oh, I'm down for that.
Okay.
I think I got that Blu-ray somewhere.
Cool.
That's one. That's awesome.
That's a great movie.
And shuffle.
Come on, Cool Runnings.
He also quacks in her butthole, James.
She doesn't queef, he quacks. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Who the fuck put Keanu on this shit?
Cool Runnings.
Equalizer.
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
Holy shit.
Awesome.
Black Panther and Cool Runnings.
We're having a good run here.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good week.
Hell yeah. We got some comedy.
The token white guy, John Candy.
Yep. That's you tonight.
It is. It is. We got an Oreo sandwich going on here. Kind of.
Yeah.
A reverse Oreo.
We got one.
No. Regular Oreo. So mixed Oreo. I don't know. I'm drunk.
I guess, I don't know what, because I would obviously be like a chocolate flavor. Maybe him, I don't know, peanut butter or something.
It's one of those special things that they do like one regular cookie, one yellow cookie, and then they got peanut butter in the middle.
Other Chris is like the peanut butter flavor. You don't know what to do with.
Chunky. I'm looking forward to next weekend.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good lineup. Black Panther and Cool Runnings. That should be fun.
That's going to be fun. I just got him on the list now.
I wasn't mad at this week either.
No, hell no.
Unlike
All right, on the Clerks.
Yes, sir. This movie.
I'm excited.
I had a good time with it. I want to do my rating last, though.
Okay.
But, you know what, James? You go first. And hurry up, Mr. Skipping.
Did he send his for Howard?
Yeah, he never gave us a rating for Howard.
He did.
What did he say?
7.
Was
For
that
Howard
for Howard
or for Clerks?
He didn't do it for Clerks yet. So come on, James. Mr. Too Good to show up. Oh, he gave it an 8. I couldn't even finish talking shit about him.
There we go.
Couldn't even
It's
finish.
respectable. It's respectable.
I'm not mad at it.
No.
What about
Okay.
you, Miss Chris or Chris?
I'm going to go 9.
Wow.
Puerto Rican Chris?
3. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's this one's an 8 for me. It took me a few watches to enjoy it, but I do enjoy it these days. When I say it took me a few watches, I don't mean like for this podcast. I mean like I had seen it first at some point randomly when it like first came out.
Yep.
Wasn't really into it or feeling it, and then I aged some, was in college, hanging out, had a good time with it, had good vibes, and then fucking after the fact. Actually, I watched this. I want to say I watched it about a year or two ago, and I was like, this is not bad at all. And I was kind of like, and I think that's when I finally like fell in love with it.
I had a great fucking time with this. I gave this one an 8.
Nice.
Like,
you scored both of these movies higher than we all thought you would, I'm pretty sure.
Probably. This shit was funny as hell. Okay, I mean to pull R. Kelly up. Not at this moment yet.
He's just been on in the background for the last 2 minutes.
He could. I mean, he fits for both movies. There's plenty of times. But no, this shit was a lot funnier than I thought it was gonna be. And then I'm realizing, like, we just did Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or whatever a few weeks ago, about a month ago. I had a great fucking time with that. I was like, yo, I gotta see more of their shit.
Where they got their start.
I gotta see more of their shit. Like, now I need to watch them in order because I feel like they probably get funnier with each movie. And it was like the fucking it's come out 94, so it was like the comedy from then. But I still find that shit fucking hilarious. I know some people grew up in this immature comedy, but fuck that. That shit was fucking hilarious.
Like, listen, this movie, like, it's so dialogue driven. I can understand, like, Puerto Rican Chris talked about not appreciating it basically until he got older and grew up and like more into society and pop culture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's when you start to understand this movie more.
That's
like
true.
their literal talk about the Death Star in the scene and like between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and talking about fucking the contractors that had to be on the ship to rebuild the Jedi and them being killed, innocent victim. Like, this is brilliant fucking writing. Like, this movie was all about the writing and dialogue.
Who wrote this?
Kevin Smith.
Fucking genius.
There's a reason this launched his career, and he still makes money from it.
Because he has like that nerdy shit, you know what I mean, like Star Wars and all that type of shit, and then he has like the stoner comedy. He's like that perfect balance.
It's a mix, man. Like, it's a stoner comedy, but not in the way you think of all the stoner comedies you've watched and hated. Like, I can't even remember all the ones we've watched. Bill and Ted, you hated.
Yeah,
what
I
else?
still do.
Fucking Super Troopers, you weren't even a huge fan of.
No,
this one's legit, like, dialogue driven.
Super Troopers, I gave a 4.
Yeah,
but this just worked. It was just fun. You know what it was for me? I felt like with this one, the people that in it that made me laugh were
well written jokes.
Well, that, and I feel like the people were naturally funny, so they didn't have to force the funny, either verbally, physically, whatever. They didn't have to force the funny because they were naturally funny. Versus the Bill and Ted movie, I didn't find those guys funny at all. So to me, they weren't naturally funny. So therefore, with those certain scenes, they felt more forced and overacted than actually funny.
I get that. Like, this movie's so low budget, there's an authenticness that these actors bring to making these jokes work, I feel like.
I loved Weekend at Bernie's, James. Get that right. I loved Weekend at Bernie's.
We should watch the sequel.
I believe I gave it an 8. I mean, just throwing this out there. No, Sex and the City 2 needs its own episode. It's like, do we need to do an episode of sequels?
We're going to really heavily get into that.
Yes.
But, like, there's a low budget authenticness to this movie that the actors bring to it, portray, that I think even propel the jokes.
Chris, I got an important question to ask you too, because this will help decide. This may help decide when we review Sex and the City Part 2. What month are your birthdays in?
July.
May.
Sex and the City came out in May. Either May or July, we should do the Sex and the City episode. We just got to figure out a weekend. I know I can't do the last weekend in May.
Whatever.
But, yeah.
I'm down whenever, man.
What's the difference? June.
Huh?
Somewhere in June. Yeah, do it in June.
Okay, June. That works.
That was one of my first thoughts. Like, just in the middle.
In the middle. When are your birth? So when's your birthday? July what?
July 24th.
I forgot for a second. He was like, "Oh shit!" And yours is May
16.
16th. All right, I got nothing.
I was like, relevance?
It
17th,
has nothing to do with anything.
26. Forget it. I'm too high for this shit. I already forgot.
You're not even supposed to be here today. But like, there's a lot of iconic images that come from this movie, like the "I assure you we're open" sign, like that he fucking paints and shoe polish.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it smell like shoe polish in here?
And dude, Dante was at the fucking Comic-Con where we first met.
He was also at Comic-Con that I went to last.
The Clerks guys come to Albany a lot for like all the Comic-Cons.
And they're actually going to be at that same con that I was at last summer in August. They're going to be out there again. Henry's going to get their autographs.
Are they? Yeah, I met Dante. I had like a 10-minute conversation with him because nobody else happened to come up at that point, so we just kind of kept talking.
We got to sit in a panel with him. Like, he was doing a panel, him and somebody else. And super nice guy, super happy guy. And then like this year he got arrested for fucking assault or something. I'm like, what the
I
fuck?
saw that.
I was like, what the hell? This whole, he was all talking about how peaceful it is and calm and being high and shit. Then he gets into a fucking fight a few months later. Like, what the fuck?
But like this, the writing in this movie, there's like so many subtle jokes that if you're not paying attention to what they're like the dialogue and what they're saying, you'll miss them.
Yo,
Like, when they're laying behind the cash register and he's painting his girlfriend's nails there, and he's talking about how many women he slept with. There's a joke in there where he, like a paraplegic joke, where he talks about sleeping with a paraplegic or something like that, and he's like, they put up the least amount of struggle.
Yep. I heard that. I laughed. I did. I'm sorry, but it was funny.
The whole snowballing.
Oh,
joke,
gosh. Yep.
which leads into one of the best interactions in the entire movie, where Dante's yelling at her. It's like, how many dicks did you suck?
She said 37.
He's like, no, she said 36. And he's
36.
like, including me? 37. And then he's yelling, my girlfriend sucked 37 dicks to a customer. And the customer's like, in a row?
I was laughing.
That was the best fucking joke in the movie. Come on, man. That is fucking hilarious. I was dying.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen this movie in years, and that joke caught me off guard again.
That's fucking hilarious. This movie was funny as fuck. I'm glad I enjoyed it too.
So that is the joke that fucking sold this movie to Miramax.
Nice.
That's awesome. I wonder if it was improvised. It sounds like something that'd be improvised.
No, it wasn't improvised. So
Really?
this movie had like a hold on. What was the budget for this movie? The budget for this movie was like $27,000. They filmed this movie
super cheap.
Yeah. So Kevin Smith was legit working at this quick stop store during the day, and they were filming this movie at night. So one of the reasons they had the whole plot there where somebody put gum in the locks for the fucking retractable things or whatever you want to call it.
Those doors that go up for the store?
Yeah.
Gates?
Yeah.
The gates, whatever you want to call them. So the reason behind putting the gum in those locks is because they had to film at night. Kevin Smith would work all day and then film at the store at night when they were closed. So they had to have a reason it was dark in there. So he wrote that. That was written into the script because of that.
Wow.
But so Kevin Smith, $27,000 budget. He sold his comic collection and borrowed $3,000 from his parents. Maxed out all his credit cards to fucking film this.
I respect it.
Great investment.
Yeah, I mean, look at where he's at now. Fuck it.
It was a grade A move on his part.
And just think about it though, like the grind, like the struggle that he had to go through, like after this was complete.
For like an hour a day. They filmed this movie in 21 nights straight.
Wow. Just wow.
Yeah. So yeah, he was allowed to film in the store from 10:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. What was I gonna? But the reason, that dick sucking joke. So a Miramax employee read the screenplay like after this was filmed. to decide whether or not they wanted to pick up the film for distribution. And he came to the scene where Dante, says that joke. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks. And he goes out the door and he yells, try not to suck any dicks on the way to the parking lot. And then you see that random customer start following her. And he's like, hey, he's like, the Miramax employee couldn't just fucking died laughing, threw the script down, and just took it to fucking management. And
That's hilarious.
which was unfortunately Harvey Weinstein and his brother at the time.
Yeah, fuck you, Harvey Weinstein.
But fuck him. But like, that's the joke that sold this movie to make it available to the masses.
Well, this movie was fucking funny. I'll give you that. This movie was fucking hilarious. It had its part. Like, it picked up kind of slow, but once it started getting funny for me, I couldn't stop laughing for the most part. Like, holy shit. Holy fuck. Wow. Oh my gosh.
You're right, man. Like, it takes a little bit to get into it, but then as long as you can pay attention to it, like, those jokes are kind of nonstop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking, when, the guy, what was it? One of his ex-girlfriends or some girl that he hooked up with once when she died and he's going to her funeral.
the funeral. So
he was like, somebody mentioned something like it was an embarrassing way for someone to die or just something. Then the one
trying to suck your own dick.
That one, I was in tears. You know, that shit was so fucking funny. He was like, how'd your cousin die? How'd he break his neck? Falling off a ladder? He's like, no, trying to suck his own dick.
That was a great conversation. I thought I had a note about that too.
No, the part where it ends where he was dying, legs up in the air, something. He's like balls on his lips. I lost it. I fucking lost it. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't think they were gonna take it there, and they fucking did.
I read something that Brandel actually forgot his line at one point, so he had to stop to think about it, and they just left that in so he didn't have to cover the cost of reshooting it.
That's hilarious. I mean, for this type of movie, it works.
Like, this is so, and the scene. Well, they were on their way to the funeral home at that point for that wake, and they had that scene written out. Like, they were going to include it in the movie, but the budget prohibited them from including him actually, a scene of him actually knocking over the casket. Which is why, all you see is them going in and then them running out.
Yep. Then you hear about the joke, like them talking about it later on.
Yeah. What about the scene where he's ordering porn videos on the phone with the mom and her kid standing right there?
That was fucking hilarious. Like, I couldn't do anything like that without laughing. Either being the person saying all that shit or the person standing in the room. Like, me and Henry joke about this all the time. I say if we were all in a movie together, me and him for comedy scenes, we'd have to have that's when we'd have to have stunt doubles because we'd be laughing too fucking hard.
So
we've known each other since the second grade, so any little thing, especially if you say something funny, it's gonna be, you know what, get these.
So the actor refused to say the name of those porn movies in front of the kid, so that they filmed that separately. Like the guy, him on the phone, and then the woman reacting. They filmed separately and then just meshed it together.
I mean, yeah, I could see that because it's an easy kind of.
They didn't want to say those in front of the kid.
I respect that. Either way, it was still a funny fucking scene.
Hell yeah!
Oh, it was great, and I think the most memorable moment where she fucks a dead guy is his ex-girlfriend there.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this: did you see that come? You've never seen this before. Did you see that coming?
Honestly, I didn't think he was dead. I remember him being in the bathroom, like after she said the whole sex thing.
Did you totally forget about him as they moved on with the story?
I did until the sex scene. I was like, oh shit, that guy's still in there. I was like, that guy's still in there because he brought in the porn magazine to beat his meat.
I haven't talked to somebody that's watched this for the first time, so I'm curious.
I was like, now he's finally getting some, and then I'm just like, when they mentioned that he was dead, I was like, oh shit. And that part was funny when they took him out of the sheet.
He still has the boner.
Yep. I was like, wow. Which is funny because wasn't there a story about a woman who got impregnated by a dead corpse?
Probably.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I remember reading that fairly recently. She was white, by the way, Chris, in case you were wondering.
I don't think that's a surprise.
She was either from Florida or the Bronx, right?
Southern, at the very least.
Holy God. Holy shit. Yeah, we
Appalachian Mountains, probably.
Oh, man.
Oh God.
I thought that was a fun scene. Like all the interactions with Dante or Randall and the customers in this movie are fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
Agreed.
It's like this job would be great if it wasn't for the fucking customers. That's literally a line that anybody can fucking relate to that's ever worked in any kind of retail whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Any type of customer service. Oh gosh, what?
And one thing, actually, I don't know how many times I've seen this movie, but as I was reading through the trivia today, so there's a scene where Dante and Randall are behind the cash register, like you are in your background here, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about like the jizz mopper and stuff like that, and they have the guy there that's trying to buy something that talks about how he's offended of their conversation. You know what he's trying to buy? Glass cleaner and paper towel. I never fucking knew that until I read through the trivia. He's literally buying glass cleaner and paper towel, and they're talking about how you have to clean jizz off of the windows at fucking Spank It shops.
That's fucking hilarious.
That is glorious.
I didn't catch that. Never caught that.
Never caught that.
Now that makes that scene even funnier because of that, and then his reaction. Instead of it being like he's disgusted, he's just more embarrassed because he's the one who has to go clean that
He's
shit.
literally buying the shit they're talking about that you have to buy
Holy shit.
use to clean cum on glass.
Holy shit, that's fucking funny. And I mean, I know it was scripted in there, but what makes that scene funnier is because if you're watching it as like this is real life scene going on, they're not even looking at what he's buying. They're not even because they're sitting on the floor, right?
Yep.
Just fucking talking. So yeah, this shit was funny.
I was also dying with the guy looking for the perfect dozen of eggs.
Him in his mouth and shit.
Yeah, where he's rubbing one on his nipple and he's got one in his mouth. Like, what the fuck?
There was that and the ladies that would take the milk out and look at every single fucking one of them.
The milkmaids.
The milkmaid, that's what he called them, yeah. His hockey friends that took all the Gatorade. He's like, yeah, go back there and grab me a Gatorade, man. There's nothing left because they fucking took them all.
And, of course, their best of both worlds hermaphrodite porn.
Oh, that was fucking hilarious. What had me laughing about that, because he worked at a video store. He was like, doesn't have any of the good movies. And he goes all the way across town to another video store to rent that shit. And then he was like, yeah, so we could buy and we could watch it together, man. That's why I got it. Like, what the? What do you say? Chicks with dicks was better than that? I'm like, well, chicks without dicks. That's what's better than that. But that shit was fucking funny. Like, that whole fucking scene was just hilarious. Of course, people get butthurt about it now, but that's your problem.
I don't know, man. I think this movie holds up.
For me too, it does. I mean, for me seeing it for the first time, I still think it's fucking hilarious. So I guess I could say it holds up as well. But I'm just saying, there's those people out there that this is fucked up. Let's camp now.
But so the Motion Picture Association originally gave this an NC-17, literally just based on the dialogue. Like, there's no nudity in this movie. There's no sex.
No violence, yep.
It is literally because of the dialogue. So Miramax hired Alan Dershowitz as their lawyer to argue against it, and they got it knocked down back to a R rating with no editing or anything like that.
Nice.
Shout out to Dershowitz.
Yep.
But the dialogue and the acting in this movie is fantastic for such a indie movie.
I mean, dude, now with your knowledge, did they like know each other prior to doing this movie together?
That I don't know. So Kevin Smith cast himself as Randall originally, which is why Randall had some of the best lines.
Yeah.
But
I thought Jay was his best friend, like forever.
He was. I don't know how long they knew each other before this happened. I couldn't find that. But the one line that Silent Bob speaks at the end there, where he talks about Dante's girlfriend bringing him food and stuff, Like that line was originally meant for Jay, but Jay kept fucking it up, so Kevin Smith just said it. Kevin Smith wrote the character of Dante based on himself and Randall as another good friend of his, Brian Johnson or something, who was in his like Comic Book Men AMC series that he did.
Mm-hmm.
So those characters, Dante and Randall, were based on Kevin Smith and his friend.
It worked though.
Even though he plays Silent Bob and he's friends with Jay Muse, who plays Jay.
Yeah. That was just like I think I have to watch part 2 of this. I have to. I don't know.
I watched Clerks 2. I don't really remember it, other than that they work in a fast food place. I have to.
Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back isn't part 2.
No, there's Clerks 2 and there's Clerks 3 coming this year.
Okay.
That's what it was, Chris, from the other day when you're asking which one of these movies was coming out, and neither one of us remembered.
Yeah.
Sometime last week.
Clerks
3.
Clerks 2. I don't remember when it came out. It's not that old. Maybe 5 years or so. Maybe 6. But I know they work in like a fast food place, like a Moobies type stuff. Like Jay and Silent Bob visit a Moobies fast food restaurant. So in Clerks 2, the characters work in a Moobies. I don't know what the plot of Clerks 3 is, but that's supposedly coming out this year. I think they wrapped filming.
Clerks 2 is on the Roku channel for free and Tubi, but it came out in 2006.
So quite a while ago.
Yeah, I want to see that. I might have to throw that in on a wheel.
I'll watch it tomorrow.
Excuse me. Mallrats with Jay and Silent Bob in it. James said.
Yep. Jay and Silent Bob are Mallrats. Dogma. Dogma's a good movie.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
The film's original title was Inconvenience. Then it got changed to Rude Clerks before just becoming Clerks.
Yeah, I think Clerks is a better name for it.
Yeah.
Actually, the role of Dante was written for the actor that plays Rick Darris, that exercise instructor that talks to Dante towards the end there, where he lifts the pint of milk. But he didn't remember his lines, and he had a shitty audition, so he gave him. So it didn't work out for him.
He still got a role.
Yeah, so he got the role that he did.
He's like, "Come on, man, can you give me something?" Like, yeah. What do you want me to say? Whatever the fuck you say when you walk through that door, we're just gonna go with it.
Oh, did you also catch that Randall sold the cigarettes to the 4-year-old and Dante gets fined for it later on?
Mm-hmm. What was funny about it is because he was like, "Yeah, you sold it to a 4-year-old." He was like, "Oh, that girl, I remember her." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I don't know, man. Like, there's so many interwoven jokes in this movie that just like they introduce at different parts and then pay off later on. I don't know. I feel like this is one of the best, well-written independent movies made.
And they don't overdo the joke either. Like, they'll hit it.
Other than the fact that I'm not supposed to be here today.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize this. He only says it 5 times, but it feels like more.
I think because the way they spaced it and the way they kind of played it out, but it does feel like more. Wow, that's crazy that you mentioned that. But I think it's the way they like has it. Whatever the spacing was, however close or how far away it was that he said that in the movie, they had it like perfectly spaced out to where you were just like, all right. And then the last time he said it, when him and his friends started fighting and arguing and shit. Yeah. This was a good one. This was a fun weekend of fucking movies for me. Between last night and earlier this evening, this was a fun fucking back and forth. Like, I could have watched these 2 back to back and had a great fucking time. Right,
you guys keep talking. I really got to pee.
You guys want to wrap this one up? Well, next Saturday, 9:00 Eastern time, we'll be back here reviewing Black Panther and Cool Runnings.
Yep.
So
I'm fucking pumped up for next week now too. Fuck, man, yeah. 2 great weeks in a row at least.
Oh, yeah. Shit, I'll take 3. I think last movies were good, really good. Well, in my opinion. The last Black Man in San Francisco and Harlem Nights. I enjoyed it more than anybody else did, I guess. But yeah, next weekend's gonna be really fun. So, boomy.
So it's the Worst Damn Gamer. If you've been paying attention or not, my TikTok, it's got tons of content for you. So go follow me there. You can catch me on Instagram as well, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. More on Twitch TikTok, and Instagram at the moment. I'm uploading all my VOD content to YouTube. Today I've been in and out of my stream on Twitch 5 times, playing Fortnite, playing Apex. So I really appreciate you. I finally got some people, real people, in my chat. So please and thank you. Come follow, get the notification. Watch me play some games. Watch me review some movies. Watch me talk some shit with my guys. Watch me get real. Pretty much almost every day of the week. You can go see Dreams the Creator, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. He's been helping us with all these imageries here, all the overlays. If you like any of the stuff, if you need somebody who can work a camera, who can work with sound, who can work with digital images and overlays and creating stuff, he's the guy. Says it right in his name. He's the creator. Go catch him. If you need help on the price, let him know Sir Sturdy and or the Worst Damn Gamer sent you. He'll hook you up. Our girl host Joe on Any Last Words. She has a Patreon for support. She's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. She's got a ton of different things for you.
Tickety talks.
Oh yeah, TikTok as well. Tons of different things for you, from recipes, origin stories, ghost stories, movie reviews. I mean, you name it. If it's in the dark space, she's your girl. She keeps you entertained. She has tons of great friends and co-hosts that come on randomly as well. Go check her stuff out. Follow her as well. Our boy up in Canada, Mr. Kyle, the Angry Canadians Run, is so good at scary, horror-driven. If there's a movie that you've been working on, a project, 30 minutes or less, if there's a trailer you want us to review, hit him up on Facebook and Instagram, let him know what's up, and we can do it right on Sir Sturdy's podcast, and he's about to tell you all about that as well.
Before I jump into that, though, also it's so good it's scary. He just started this Midnight Friday, and he's going to be doing this periodically. Go follow him on TikTok, because he's going to be doing movies that are like allowed to be streamed or whatever. I don't know what the fucking term is, but he's going to be showing those live on his TikTok. So make sure you go give that a looky-loo. And yeah, I have to let you guys know about that, because that's a dope thing. It's going to be a fun thing that you guys all want to be a part of. And I'll be there at times too. Don't worry. And like he was saying, you can catch us Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 o'clock Eastern time on my show, Horror with Sir Sturdy. Movie reviews, as you guys know. I believe we're doing Afflicted next, the Canadian film. So hop on by and get a Afflicted, I believe. Whatever it is, you'll see. You'll see us reviewing that on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And as he also said, this is where we'll be doing the horror shorts, half hour or less. So make sure you guys tune into that. I actually have an episode coming out tomorrow, an interview tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It's a surprise who it is, but it's a young podcaster that I have the pleasure of coming on here. And I can't wait. It's going to be fun. So yeah, be there for that. And next Saturday at Popcorn and Pints, we are reviewing Black Panther and Cool Runnings, 9 o'clock Eastern time. You guys are not going to miss that. We're going to figure out whether those two movies connect, not black movies, because that's too easy. And you guys just tune in. It's going to be two great movies that it seems like we all enjoy, the ones that are here. You don't want
this week it was all about the sex.
Yes. And with that said, check on, speaking of sex, bars. Stories from you get that IPA, you might get you some.
Half the reason people get pregnant, alcohol.
He's right. On top of that, music. He also discusses music. So what we're basically saying is you play stories from a bar, ladies. If you're trying to have a baby, you play stories from a bar and hear those discussions on there.
I'll help get you pregnant. That's all.
That Chris's soothing voice and all of his jokes and everything on there is going to get you guys pregnant.
It is.
You with your men, not him. Just saying.
I'm only assisting verbally.
Yes, he's assisting verbally.
Oh, I'll bring the turkey baster.
Wow. And then there's Deep Focus Cinema, Deep Dive on Cinema.
I like the direction that was going in.
Go check that out as well before we get worse with this, people.
He gets real deep with the turkey baster.
That would be you. You're the one that said you'd bring it, so you're getting deep with the turkey baster.
That's true. You said you'd bring it. And I guess we're gonna get out of here, people. Thanks for popping by, and peace.